Hey there, my name's Brashler, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Midas HUB4, the Midas DP48 with the Behringer wing. Now, if you're brand new to my channel, I'm all about helping you feel more confident with your production gear no matter where you're starting from. Also, if you are a new or experienced engineer that are just looking for some tips and tricks, I have a weekly newsletter over at audiotoolkit.co that you can sign up and get a weekly few-minute read, tips and tricks articles from me delivered right to your inbox. So go check that out if you want to take a look at that. But let's go ahead and dive in. Now, I have my Behringer wing here, and I have a Midas HUB4, and I have a Midas DP48. Now, we can run the Midas DP48 directly off of one of the AES50 ports on the back of our wing if we want to. We would have to connect a shielded Cat5 between the two devices, and then also power this device with the wall wart. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually power this over a shielded Cat5 cable by utilizing the Midas HUB4. Now, the Midas HUB4 gives us these 4 ports right here that are all PoE to be able to power 4 DP48s. The other benefit of using the HUB4 is you can actually take your mix back from the DP48 and put it to the outputs on the back of the HUB4 to feed some wireless in-ears. So on the back of the HUB4, you have 4 XLRs and 12 quarter-inch outputs. And so those are utilized between all 4 of those ports. Now let's go ahead and figure out how to get the HUB4 connected in with our Behringer wing. So the first thing that I have is a shielded Cat5. And this is plugged into the C port on the back of my Behringer wing. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the first port that's called Sync Master. Once we do that, the AES50 will go ahead and connect, and we will then get a green light on AES50A. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to grab a shielded Cat5 and plug this into one of our port outputs to then plug into our DP48. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in on output 1. And then over on my DP48, we have this connected into the main port, and I'm just simply going to turn this on. Now, the power for this will come over the AES50 shielded cable. If you happen to use an unshielded cable, the device will not power. It does have to have the shield connected to that RJ45 and hopefully an Ethercon connector if you can get your hands on it. Now, this is going to say that I need to turn on my volume on A and B, and then it will go ahead and boot up. Okay, so we have a mix playing from my Behringer wing, and I've already routed this, and I have a video specifically on the routing, but we can go see on my outputs, my AES50C, we can see all of my outputs right here. We can also see that I have a HUB4 and a single DP48 connected into that. Now, we also have some sources. Now, if we go to our sources and then go to AES50C, we have some audio playing right here. And this happens to be the audio being sent back from my DP48. Now, there are a couple things here. We have my monitor mix A that we can see is being turned up right here. So on 1 and 2, that's going to be our monitor mix A output. We then have our 3 and 4, which would be then my monitor mix B output. So we can see 3 and 4. Now, the other thing that we have here is a microphone. So there is a built-in microphone on our DP48, and it is stereo. And so we can see that as I'm talking here, it is going up and down in the audio here. And so if I went and tapped on this, we can see this is the left, and this is the right. Now we have an additional 2 more outputs, and that happens to be for the auxiliary input on our DP48. There is a set of quarter-inch inputs on the back of our DP48 that are balanced or unbalanced, and those will then go down our 7 and 8. So running down this again, we have our mix left and right, our mix B left and right. We then have our microphone left, our microphone right, and then on 7 and 8 is going to be our auxiliary input from our DP48. Now this is helpful if we ever want to route any of this audio out, any of the outputs that are available to us from our Behringer wing. But if we want to actually get our mix out from our DP48 to the back of the HUB4, what we'll need to do is we'll need to press and hold this output button. So we have port 1 through 4 here, and so we can see that I have a single device on port 1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold this until it turns green. At this point, now the outputs on the back of the HUB4 are going to be pulled from this unit. So the back of the HUB4 is broken up into sections. So we have port 1, port 2, port 3, port 4. And so as we're looking at this, we have our mix A left and right, mix B left and right on port 1. On port 2, we have the same thing, mix A left and right, mix B left and right. And then on our outputs 3 and 4, we only have 1/4 inch. So we can see that we have our mix A left and right, mix B left and right, and then our port 4, same thing. Now, if we don't have the port button press and held and green, what's going to output to these ports are going to be my AES50 signals. So we will see AES50A 33, then 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. And those are going to be the outputs of this. So if I was wanting to utilize these and not press the port button, I would have to route it through the mixer. So now that we have that port light turned on, I can simply plug in my left and right of my wireless transmitter into the outputs of my mix A on port 1, and then when I'm turning this volume mix up, it is sending to that wireless transmitter via the HUB4. Now another very cool function of the DP48 is that there is a built-in Talkback mic with these mics that are here. And we can utilize this Talkback function if we press Setup and then go to our last page in our menu, which is going to be 8 of 8, and we can see Talkback, and we're going to select and turn this to on. Now we can press setup to get back out of this menu. Now you will notice that I have my channel 48 down here. Now if I press and hold my mic button, this will then turn it into a talkback. And so now I have a talkback going out channel 48 of my DP48. Now this is going to share this output for all of the devices that are connected to our HUB4. So if you have multiple devices and anyone presses and holds this, they will be able to talk out channel 48. Now, if I was wanting to get my output of my monitor mix A from my device 1 out to an output on my, say, DL32 that I have connected to my Behringer wing, what I can do is I can go and give this a little bit of an icon color here. So I'm just going to go and find my in-ear here. There we go, and my in-ear here, and make that red as well. So this is going to be my DP48 mix A. Then the next thing that we can do is we can go to outputs, and we can go find where I want to route this audio to. So I'm going to have it on my AES50A, and we have my DL32 here, and I'm going to route it to my 15 and 16. So what I'll do is I'll go onto my source group and go find AES50C. At this point, I can go and select my 1 and 2, which is going to be my mix A for my 15 and 16. At this point, I can go ahead and turn this up. And we can see that that is now outputting, and you guys can hear it. Now, if I was wanting to actually utilize that talkback function of the DP48 and have it route somewhere, what I can do is I can pull that in on a channel. So I have my aux in 37 through 40 here, and what I could do is I could go and use my aux2 channel here. So I'll have this selected, and what I can do is go to my channels, and we have my aux2, and I'll take my source group to be from AES50C, and I will go ahead and select C48. And at this point, I can go name this, and we can say DP48 Talkback. And we can go ahead and give it a different color here. So now, if I press and hold my mic section, then we can see that I have signal happening right here. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. We could then take and route this to any of our stage wedges if we needed to have that talkback to reach them in that spot. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you today. If you do happen to have any questions, or if there's a video that you're hoping that I would make on the DP48 or the HUB4, or really any of the production equipment that's out there, please post that in the comment section down below, as I'm always reading through those comments to find videos that are going to be helpful for you. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my website at drewbrashler.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.